Hola, hola, no sé si ya estamos en vivo, ¿cómo están? Espero que nos estemos viendo por todas las redes. Hoy vamos a hablar de algo súper importante para líderes. And I'm going to jump into English because this session is going to be in English, a really short one, live. And we are going to talk about how to manage our emotions, especially if you are a leader, especially if you work with people and you manage people. You need to know, you need to level up. You need to learn techniques. And that's something that I work a lot with companies in terms of helping the companies to understand how you can manage your emotions, because if you're a leader, you can't just be all about whatever you are feeling. I don't know if you watch the movie Inside Out 2. If you haven't, go for it. I love it. I have to say that I love better the first one. However, this one is really interesting. I always think that the movies for kids are not really for kids. The movies for kids are more for adults. And this one is exactly like that. It is a movie for adults. And it will help you to understand a little bit what is happening in your brain. In this case, exactly, it is about anxiety, a panic attack, an anxiety attack, and being all the time in the future, or being blaming yourself for the past and not being able to stay put in the present. So that's what we are going to talk about. When you manage people, when you are in front of people, many problems are going to happen, many situations are going to happen all the time, and it is very important for you to understand that you can just cry and be all emotional in front of everybody without knowing what to do. It is okay not know what to do. That's why you have a team. What is not okay for you is like, I'm really furious and I'm throwing things all about everywhere and I'm breaking things. That's where things get messy, because then it's when you are being all the time observed and evaluated by people. That's when they are going to tell you what is happening and what is okay and what is not okay. So that's why it's very important to be able to manage your emotions. But how in the heck do we do that? That's the main component of this conversation that we are having here. And I hope that you can send me the comment, ask questions. I'm here to answer as many questions as I can. And the other ones we will research and of course come back with the right answer for you. So for in that case, in terms of what do I do when I am all full of these emotions because I'm really angry about the situation that happened with a customer or with one of my employees that never did what he or she's supposed to be doing, and now everything is messy and I have to fix it and all of that. So the first thing that you need to learn is self-awareness. What do I mean by that? You need to be able to check in. That's one thing that I work with my clients all the time. And it is first stop for a second, breathe in and out. Don't let the emotion take over, and just think for a second, go and reflect for a second. Okay, I am bigger than my emotion. And this is one of the things that I was working with a couple of clients this week in terms of understanding. I am not this anxiety, I am not this sadness, I am not this even depression that I may be having, I am not this anger that is all over me, that I am furious. I am bigger than that. I am the human being that today, right in this moment, is having this emotion, whatever the emotion is. And it is embrace the emotion and let it cool down. That's another piece, because I don't know if you remember when we were kids, or this is something that teachers tend to do with kids all the time when they fight. Just give your hand, give yourself a hand, give a hand to your friend, and nothing have happened. If you're in the middle of the emotion, if you want to just punch on the face somebody, you are not ready to say like, yeah, everything is cool, everything is okay. No, you need to let the emotion cool down. You need to take some seconds apart and let the emotion cool down so you can continue and not get and don't create the whatever the emotion wants you to create. Emotions are not really good advisors. They will take you towards whatever they are feeling. Your brain will be in the emotion mode. So stop the brain for a second. And the best way to stop the brain for a second is breathe, have more oxygen in your neurons, and understand the whole context. Because that is the other piece that happens when we are caught into an emotion, and it is we are all pain. We are all that emotion, and we are focusing on just seeing in a different way everything. Everything looks through those glasses, through those lenses. So we have to stop for a second and let the focus get wider so we can see the whole context and we can understand the whole context, all the situations. We are able to see the forest, not just the tree that is happening now. We are able to see the whole forest and then make the decision that we need to make. Instead of I'm looking at this tree and I'm making decisions, rushing decisions out of this situation, this fear, this anger, this frustration, this anxiety that I am having. I promise, or what I've seen with many of my leaders, is that when they do that, and it is exactly what happens when we are in the middle of a fight with our partner. When we do that, we say things that we don't mean to say. We say things that are hurtful. We say things that are ugly, and we create a really messy result. So, and then what I call the hangover, the emotional hangover, which is the result of all that mess that we created, is really heavy and big. And then you have to fix things and apologize and build again trust and all of that. So as a leader, you don't have time to waste doing that. So what do we need to do? One step before, one step, let's walk not that fast. One step before, stop, breathe, think, stop looking at the tree and start looking at the whole picture, the whole forest, to understand what is the best decision that I should make in this situation. Not that affects you, affects the other person, but also affects the whole company and the impact of the company. Remember that as a leader, you are, and I told you this already, you are going to be seen all the time. There is not 1 minute in your life that somebody's not looking after you. Everybody, all the time, is looking after you. So stop for a second, pause, and make the right decision. Don't quit before it's time to quit, because that's another situation that happened out of desperation. Out of desperation, we break up relationships, we sell stuff, we break out contracts, and make so many wrong decisions. So don't make any decision under really stressful emotion. Wait till it cools down, the energy fades away, so you feel like, okay, I don't hate you anymore, I can't talk to you anymore, or even this is not that painful and I can talk about it now. So those are ways to decide. So what are we learning here? Don't let the emotion take over. Take a couple of seconds and quiet down, cool down. And I'm going to tell you about a personal experience. As many of you know, and if you don't, I'm going to tell you, I am a triathlonist, but I am a horrible swimmer. Not because of my style, it's because open waters gives me a lot of anxiety. And last time, and I am going to tell you how I use the skill that I'm describing. I was swimming. I was in a racing here in Colorado, in Boulder, and I started okay. I was fine, and then after a couple of minutes, I started to having this anxiety attack. I was in the middle of this chaos that you see in one of the videos that I posted during this week, without control. And remember, when you are the victim of an emotion, when one emotion is taking over, you can't control it. You just need to let it settle down, fade away, and maybe kind of like the style is stay put, because that shall pass too. Once the emotion fade away, you can decide. So I was swimming, I was really good. I was doing really good till the emotion hit. And I was in the middle of this chaos, and all the swimmers were around. And if you have ever seen a video or a competition. It's crazy because everybody just wants to go to from buoy to the end line, to the finish line and get out of water. Of course, I was there too, but I was in panic. So I had to ask for help for the first time during the times that I've been running, and it's been 3 years since I started with triathlons. I had to raise my hand, swim to a water motorcycle, and ask for help. They throw me the red thingy. I don't know how it's called. And they saw me that I was breathing really poorly. So they said, like, we need to take you out of the water. And the answer was no. I know that I can finish this. I just need 10 seconds. And many times we just need 10 seconds to let the emotion cool down, fade away. So ask or take yourself as a leader those 10 seconds. This is the biggest tip that I'm going to give you today, and you are going to appreciate, you are going to love me for this tip, I promise. And they were like, no, you look really bad. We have to take you out of the water. I knew, I've been training. I train every single freaking day. So I know that I can do this. But I was caught by my emotion. I was like, I just closed my eyes and I was like, no, I just need 10 seconds. Let me alone. Just let me be here for 10 seconds. And I was breathing. And then when I felt better, and probably it was less than 10 seconds, I don't know. When we are in the middle of an emotion, whatever it is, it can feel like forever. That's the feeling. So 10 seconds after, or whatever it was, I was ready and I was like, okay, bye. So I started swimming. I was still feeling it, because remember, your heart is racing. Whatever the emotion is, your heart is racing really fast. The feeling is like it wants to get out of your chest. So give yourself the time to self-control, as I did, and then continue and wait and know that it will pass, it will fade away. So I did. And then after a couple of seconds, I was ready, and then I continue, and I was able to finish and then go on to the next one, which was the bike and all that stuff. So the lesson here is self-awareness. Understand that it is happening, and also stop for a second when you are in the middle of an emotion. So we prevent the emotional hangover after this situation, messy situation that you can create. Stop for a second and don't blame yourself. It is an emotion. It is hitting you. A poor self-talking is not going to help. So instead of saying crazy things to you, I'm stupid, why is this happening to me, I'm going to die, I'm the worst, all of that, none of that is true. But all of that is going to affect the way that you are feeling. Instead of letting you cool off or cool down, it will keep raising the emotion, because it is like getting attached to the emotion. So self-awareness, stop for a second, understand what is happening, embrace it, don't hang to it, let it go, and then continue. And come back and tell the people. If you are in front of a group, tell the people, I'm sorry, I need 5 seconds, or like in my case, I need 10 seconds, I'll come back. And then you can come back, you can feel stronger, you can feel better, and say like, okay, I'm ready to continue this conversation, or even to finish this conversation. Because maybe many times we have gone through this loop over and over, and today is the day to finish that conversation with this person that you need to fire, let go, or with this client that is really mad and you need to fix, or whatever it is. You will feel clearly what is the way to go. You will understand. So the other piece that I was saying there is a pause and breathe. Give yourself that time to pause and breathe, and to say like, okay, I got this. And maybe you can say also to people, I don't have the answer now. I need a couple of hours to come back with the answer. We will get together again and we will have the answer. And I am a really big fan of Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. And he used to go for walks with all his teammates and clients, because that's when he was able to think better. And the goal here is to think better and not to create a bigger mess. So self-control is the key here, and the way to get it is through your body. Is your body the one that will get you and will help you to self-control whatever the emotion is? It can be with your kids, it can be with your partner, it can be with the client, it can be with your teammate, because we are humans. And if you are not feeling any emotion, sadness, anger, anxiety, watch out, because maybe you are a psychopath and we don't want that. We don't need psychopaths. So it is okay to have emotions. I had a client who asked me, like, why I am feeling this? And I was like, congratulations. One, you are alive. Second, you are not a psychopath. Those are the why reasons why this is happening. So that's okay. It is okay to feel those emotions. The question here is, how can I manage them better so they don't manage me? I'm not my emotion. I am bigger than my emotion, and that is something important to understand. So you have to fix messes, because when you said something terrible to somebody, that person is not going to remember all the times that you were kind. That person, client, kid, daughter, sister, mom, teammate is going to remember that forever. We don't want that. We want people to remember us in a really nice way, or at least that's what I want. So how do you want to be remembered? By your people, by your clients, by whoever is looking after you? That's a question that you have to ask yourself. So the next piece is being able to listen to your people, because there is a big difference between I have this idea about who I am and the way I behave. And many times, according to the research, our standards are really high. We think highly of us, but the reality is like, yeah, no, I don't behave that well. Maybe the way that people are looking at me is different. So ask them and embrace whatever they are telling you, so you can make the changes that you feel that you should make. And I don't know if you have questions, let me know in the chat. And I'm going to stop for a second, breathe, and have a sip of water. And by the way, I am Colombian. And I don't know if you are ready for this soccer game, but if you are not, go and buy your, get ready and buy your t-shirt, your jersey, because you need it, because we are going to win the cup. So just a tip. Okay, so let's go to the next one, which is the best way, or the only space where I can have control of all 100% is this, is myself. That's the only piece that I can guarantee, is the control, the self-control that I can have on this space that is happening here. What do I mean? I can control how I say things, but I cannot control how you react to the things that I am saying. Meaning, my anger, my frustration can be the result of this conversation that we are having. I can't control what you are saying, but I can control how it hits me. And that's an important question that you need to ask yourself. Why what you are saying is so horrible to me that is creating this feeling inside of me? And one of the things that I tell my clients all the time is journaling. Journaling is great. Go and journal, because that's a conversation between you and your soul. And write down and understand without judging. We are really good judges of ourselves. Stop the judging piece. Just write down and understand. Just do it in order to understand the feeling and the emotion. And then stop and say, like, now I understand. Now I know what triggers, what happened, what was triggered in me, and I can make corrections or make adjustments or whatever I need to do. And that's very important for a leader. A good leader is the one that is not the one that don't make mistakes. And I was reading the other day, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, and he was saying, like, I'd rather make mistakes than stay paralyzed. So it is cheaper to pay for a mistake than to stay paralyzed. So my invitation here is, if you make a mistake because you let your emotion take over, stop for a second and go and ask for whatever you need. Talk to your people, talk to your client, talk to your kids, talk to your husband, talk to your teammate, and tell them, I'm sorry, I messed it up. What can we do? How can we fix this so we can move forward? Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want to move forward and get stronger relationships. We are social human beings. We are not meant to live in a cave and escape from the whole world. Some people are, but in general, we are social humans. We need others. We need to have strong connections. So this is the only piece that I can control. There are a lot of studies about how to gain self-control. So I was saying getting feedback is important and making the adjustments necessary to improve your lifestyle and your leadership style is very important. Empathy and active listening, because exactly what is happening to you as a leader, it can be happening to any of your clients, a partner, kids. So understanding others and being able to put yourself in their shoes is really important for you to be able also to manage your emotions. A healthy lifestyle. Learning about pain is important. And that's one of the reasons I run and race all these crazy things. Because when I'm racing, I am learning how to self-manage and pace myself. So when you learn to self-control, you learn to pace yourself, and you learn that there are battles that are not worth to engage with. There are people that are not worth to engage with. There are comments that are not worth your emotion, your engagement, your attention. So even when they say mean things to you, don't waste your energy, your time. Don't waste all the beauty that you are in those kind of battles that are not worth it, because unless this battle is good to take you to your goal, in that case, go for it. But other than that, it's not even interesting to engage. And as we grow, we understand that, yeah, no, I'm not interested in this battle. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. Thank you. That's one sentence that I learned from a client, and I use all the time. Like, yeah, no, not my circus, not my clients. Not my circus, not my monkeys. So no, thank you. Not interested in this fight. I'll pass. So the next step is learning to say no. And I don't stop or I keep telling you in every video the importance as a leader to say no. Like exactly when I was having the panic attack, the anxiety attack, and I was swimming. Do you want to we are going to get you out of the water. No, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to finish. I just needed 10 seconds. So exactly the same, being able to say no. No, so you don't embrace in projects that you don't want to, but you feel like forced because that's your friend or that's a good client or whatever it is. But saying no will save you many problems, time and money. But also being able to set boundaries, set clear boundaries when you can create the line and say like, no, thank you. This is the line that we don't cross. Respect, for instance, to me, respect is a really strong line. So that's something that I all the time, when I have to, I cross the line and I draw the line and I say like, no, respect. We don't go through that line. No, thank you. I'm not interested, and I'm not going to let you do that either. So also, of course, we are humans and we make mistakes. So if you get into a really bad situation because the emotion took over, learn to develop coping strategies. What helps you anytime? What triggers you? So identify the trigger, but also what helps you coping with. What is the coping strategy that helps you when you are in the middle of that emotion? So going back to the same example, one thing that helps me is I swim backwards, and that helps me, that gives me the time to breathe. And then I turn and I continue with the freestyle. So what's your freestyle? What is the freestyle that can help you, or what is the backwards that can help you to stop for a second and breathe? And what is your coping mechanism? And what can help you diffuse the tension, or what can help you embrace that you are not going to die? You are not your emotion. You are not a horrible human being. You are just having a moment, and you need to go through that moment, and it's going to last a really short period of time. And just to finish, remember, as I mentioned when we started, all the time, if you are a mom, if you are a leader, if you lead your own company, people are looking all the time, looking after you. There is always somebody looking after you and following your steps. So what do you want them to follow? The best version of you that you want to create is the one that you are doing now. It's not the one that you are going to see in 10 years. It's the way that you are behaving now. So check also what is the emotion that usually takes over more often, and analyze that. It can be, I'm all the time furious. I'm all the time making this face. I was watching a movie the other day, and the husband told the wife, hey, baby, remember that your face have subtitles. And I love it because our faces have subtitles, meaning, and I was in a meeting one day, and the lady that I was meeting with, one of the ladies, we were like 5 people, and we were coming up with a project, and she was making horrible faces. She was quiet, but making all these horrible faces to the comments that everybody was doing. I was like, you don't have to yell. You are yelling with your face subtitles. So watch out for that as well, because people are looking after you, and that gesture said more than many words. So lead by example. Remember that you just have one shot to create an amazing version of yourself, and this is today. I hope to see you next Friday. Let's talk about more tips to be great leaders, to manage emotions. I don't know, whatever it is, we will plan something really cool. So don't forget, connect, give it like, share, ask questions. We are all growing this community together, and we are all learning to be better leaders together. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.